Hi everyone. So, feels like it's been so long since I've seen you. Just kidding. Um anyway, so we'll just get kind of I guess right into it. So, of course, for Saturday, because this is the video for Sunday, Monday. So, of course, for Saturday, Sunday, it was this image, Valkyrie and Misty Knight. Oh, and I forgot to mention, or maybe I mentioned it in the other video. I don't think I did, but Valkyrie's sword is named Dragonfang, which I thought was cool too. Like a nod to Excalibur, King Arthur's sword. And then the image for Monday is Heimdall. And I thought, honestly, Idris Elba was the perfect choice for Heimdall in the Thor movies. I mean, yeah, just talk about perfect casting. Um, and Heimdall has the ability to see all, hear all, which I guess I kind of equate to telepathy. I'm assuming he's learned to tune out unnecessary noise or things, and he only has learned to tune into things that are like super important to the safety of Asgard. So I think that's a pretty cool power. Although I don't think I would like that power. Same with telepathy. I wouldn't want to know everything that everyone thinks um of me all the time. Because I'm pretty insecure, so yeah, I wouldn't like that at all. Um I don't know how you deal with that, honestly. I guess yeah, you learn to tune it out, which is what I would definitely have to do, or pretty much never leave my house. Let's see. And then oh yeah, I forgot. We just talked about Captain Marvel, but this is actually like the original Captain Marvel. And he just had his he debuted in, I believe it's like 1968, honestly. And then he got a new series in 1972. Or I mean his on, like I just remember that in issue 17 he got a rebrand. He got the costume that we know today. And I brought another visual aid. I've had this since 2008. The original Captain Marvel. And it's interesting because, of course, on the back, you can see there's the variant head for his son. And then here's like the artwork on the side. So in issue 17 of his series, we get this costume that we associate with him the most. And it also is interesting because, of course, this is 2008. So it says, that it mentions that Monica Rambeau took up the mantle of Captain Marvel. And that was, I believe, in like 1983, somewhere in there. I'm pretty sure I've talked about that on my channel before. And then, of course, his Captain Marvel's son and his daughter, and even a Skrull warrior has taken up the mantle of Captain Marvel. So anyway, so Captain Marvel, this image stamp could be found in Ka-Zar number 4, July 1974, Fantastic Four number 145, April 74, Jungle Action number 12. Okay, I will have to look and see what that is because I feel like that kind of leads me to think Savage Land, but then they mentioned Ka-Zar has his own series at this point, so is that like also about him and his adventures? I don't know. Were there really enough adventures to support like 2 series about him? Anyway, I will have to look that up because I am not sure what that is. Yes, I mean there are things I don't know. And then Werewolf by Night, number 27. And they said that this came from, see, this image came from Captain Marvel 29. So November 1973. When Jim Starlin, like, and Al Milgram and John Romita Sr. redrew him, rebranded him. I remember reading about, Jim Starlin, and he was like kind of responsible for recreating him, so to speak, because when it's hard to imagine, like, for sure, but when he first appeared, he had like this green and white costume, and it was kind of nondescript. It wasn't like super what's it called, like, it didn't jump out at you. That's what I'm trying to say. It didn't jump out at you. And he had a helmet, basically covering his hair and covering his face, most of his face and everything. So, and then, Captain Marvel 17 is when he actually got the costume that we know him, from today. And Captain Marvel is one of those characters, the very few characters that actually died. And it was in a miniseries called The Death of Captain Marvel, I believe, in 1982. He's one of the very few characters that actually died, and hasn't come back. Like, his spirit has come back, or like facsimiles of him has come back. I remember in a issue of X-Men, like X-Men 90 or 89, somewhere in there, I've talked about it on my channel. There was a scroll that had impersonated him, and since he died, all the scrolls that had impersonated people that died were cast out. They were outcast because there was no longer a need for them, because the real people didn't exist in real life anymore. So why would they need to be impersonated? Because they're dead. So obviously, if Captain Marvel showed up somewhere, people would be like, oh my gosh, he's dead. Anyway, so I remember, reading about that. And let's see, there was the whole thing where he would merge with Rick Jones, and when he used his negabands, hey, these almost look like him, like bands. When he tapped, his wrists together, they would switch places. Rick Jones, the same Rick Jones from, like, that's friends with the Hulk. So I always thought that was interesting, that they couldn't exist in the same space at the same time. And so whoever wasn't using the physical space would go to the negative zone and basically wait for their turn. And I remember there was like a time when Captain Marvel could only be in the physical world like 3 hours at a time. So that would be awkward, kind of in battle, to be like, oh crap, we gotta wrap this up. I only have 5 minutes left. I mean, can you imagine? That would have been tough. I bet that was kind of interesting. I bet those were interesting stories to read, though. I mean, it's been a while since I've read them, so I can't remember exactly how they worked that out. But yeah, that would be really, that'd be different for sure. It was definitely a different concept. So he had, cosmic, like cosmic, what's it called? Something about basically omnipresence, like he knew everything and sort of thing. That's what drove his son mad, because he just had all this power and he knew everything. It kind of makes sense. If you had all this power and if you knew everything, then how you makes sense that you'd go crazy. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. That's it. I had something else that I was going to say, but now I can't remember. Like I said, I haven't been feeling like myself lately the past couple days. So yeah. So I forgot what I was going to say. But anyway, so I will see you guys again on today's Wednesday. And like I said, I apologize for the fact that, I was behind, but stuff happens, life happens. So anyway, and oh, again, Dazzler's still sleeping on the back of the couch. Decided not to join me, like for any of these videos. It's been a while since she slept this long, so it's probably because it's cold and she doesn't want to do anything, which I don't blame her. I get it. So anyway, I'll see you guys Wednesday. Bye.